Hello and welcome to today's IELTS lesson, and today I'm going to talk about the best books you can use for IELTS preparation. Okay, so before we get into the actual books that I'm going to recommend, I do want to give a little bit of a warning when it comes to using books. So the books and preparation materials you use are less important than your study schedule, your motivation, and your learning techniques. So yes, books can help you, but they're not the most important thing. Don't spend all your time thinking about the books or trying to find the best books. Your time should be spent actually studying and using materials in a good way and being energetic and motivated when you study. Also, reading books will not improve your IELTS skills. You have to do practice tasks that improve the skills you need in the exam. So just buying a book and reading it is not going to improve your score. You need to understand the ideas in the books. You need to practice the skills that are shown in the books. And also, choose a few books and then aim to fully understand the content. When you finish the book, go back to the start and do it again. Don't try and finish 10 books. Get one book, finish it, understand everything before you move on to the next book. Go through a book 2, 3, 5 times if you need to. There will be some things that aren't clear. Go back and do it again. Fully understanding 2 or 3 books is much better than only partially understanding 10 or more books. Okay, so now let's look at some of the books that I recommend, and I will include a link to these books underneath the video. There won't be an affiliate link, so you can click and buy the original books if you choose. So the first one here is the official Cambridge guide. It's quite an expensive book, but it has all the information you need. There are companion guides with this book that include other kind of practice, but this official guide gives you information, skills, and practice activities for all parts of the IELTS exam, general training, and academic. And it's from Cambridge, so it's a trusted source, and I recommend this student. I have a copy of this book. I often refer back to it when thinking about activities that I can give my students. The next one is also quite popular, Barron's, and similar to the Cambridge, there are other books that go along with it. You can buy them all together as a package. And as I mentioned before, if you do that, make sure you do one book at a time. Or do some practice tests from the test book, but always go back and practice the skills in the other books that come with the super pack for Barron's. Next we have Collins. So we've got 3 different publishers here. Collins comes in separate books. They cheaper if you buy one book at a time, so you don't have to buy the full package, but they focus on the individual skills, and it's a very useful resource. The practice exercises are very authentic. Let's move on to 3 more books. And IELTS on Track. This is a book that I used a lot in my classroom teaching. I still think the tests are quite good and good for practice, and it's good if you print out the test while you're doing it. IELTS on Track, there is an academic and a general training version, so make sure you get the one that's suitable for you. And now in terms of just vocabulary, a book to improve your vocabulary, this is quite a high-level book. If you understood all the words that are in this vocabulary book for IELTS, your vocabulary would be excellent. There are some words that even I don't understand, so it's a very high-level book. You don't need to understand everything. But obviously the more you can understand and the more you can use the words. Not just about vocabulary comprehension, but using an advanced level of vocabulary is important, especially in speaking and writing. And the last set of books I'm going to recommend are the Cambridge English series. I think we might even be up to book 12 at the moment, but there are a whole series of books, mostly practice tests. There is a little bit of information about the skills, but it is very much focused on practice exams, which you should be doing, but don't just focus on practice exams. You need other books to help you with the skills that you need to improve your scores in the practice exams. Now, just a few more suggestions before you go out and buy a whole bunch of books. When doing practice tasks, try to use paper copies of the question and answer sheets, as this is similar to real exam materials. So if you get a PDF copy of the book, print it out. If you get a real copy of the book and you don't want to write in the book, get a photocopy, and when you do a practice test or a practice activity, write, pen or pencil, write on a piece of paper, because that's what you need to do in the real exam. Just looking at it or typing your answers is not very authentic practice. So whether you're using a PDF version or a paper book, make sure you print it out so that you can write your answers as you would in the real exam. Using authentic versions of the IELTS books will make sure that you are learning all of the information provided by the publisher. I know a lot of students look for free books online. The free books online may be incomplete. They may be inaccurate. They may have been typed out by a student and they make mistakes. The answer keys may not be accurate. The answer key that's in the PDF might not be the original one, and there may be mistakes. I recommend using proper materials. Yes, it does cost money, but if you're doing the IELTS exam, you're spending money on the exam, you may as well spend money on good materials that will really help you rather than incomplete materials that may have mistakes. And try to complete each book that you use. Getting bored and changing books will not help you achieve your IELTS goals. Okay, if you get a book and you only do 10 pages, oh no, I don't like this book, I will use another one. Well, that won't help you with IELTS. Some things in IELTS are boring. Learning some of the skills won't be very interesting, but you need to do it to succeed. So don't give up or don't throw a book away and stop using it. Buy one book, complete all of the activities, understand everything in the book, then get another book. Doing one book a week won't be very productive unless you're studying 8 hours a day and really being intensive in your studies. So there are my suggestions and ideas for books for the IELTS exam. I will leave a link for each of those recommendations. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel so I can keep giving you practice activities and authentic IELTS materials, and watch another video. Keep practicing and improving your IELTS skills, and good luck with your IELTS preparation. Thank you and goodbye.